To open the afternoon session, we have Lasse Jarlskov from Telia and visiting us from Copenhagen.
Yes.
And he also chairs nog.
Yes. So I did this presentation at nog a couple of months ago, and Axu asked me to come here and show all of you. So here I am. A bit about nog. It's quite a large nog, basically participants from all over the Nordics, so you're welcome to come and join. We have it every year in Copenhagen in March. But for this talk, I'm not nog, I am Telia. And I want to talk to you about something that we saw on the internet, a bit of a fluke that we thought would be interesting for all of you to know. It was, we were wondering if this was dangerous at all. But was this the prelude leading up to a BGP hijack? I don't know, actually, but I'd love to hear your input after I have explained it. So just diving into actually what happened here. Our upstream IP transit provider alerted us that they saw an AS set in the RIPE database that somehow included the Telia Sweden AS number. The Telia Sweden AS number is AS 3301. And there was some AS set that included from AS 59580, both their AS number and ours. And we thought, well, that's kind of strange. And then someone looked it up and it said located in Russia. And I thought, well, that's even more strange because we don't do much business with Russia, as in none at all. And if someone would be wanting to do anything dangerous on the internet or attack us in any way, would they actively advertise that they are from Russia? Probably not. So strange. Looking a bit more into that, we saw that they had actually listed their country as Russia, but their address in Tehran, Iran, which I find even more strange. But what was the key here is that they were saying that this AS set where Telia's AS number is included, they want to announce that AS set to AS 1299, which is Aurelian, our IP transit provider. So basically, what it says in the RIPE database is that they are announcing AS 3301 Telia Sweden. And of course, we did not like that, not at all. So taking a step back, what does that actually mean? Well, an AS set in the RIPE database, for those of you who are maybe not sure, it's basically just a list of AS numbers. And that list of AS numbers can be used for pretty much anything. Most of it can be used as who is present at this IXP, or the list of AS numbers that I have a BGP session with, or the list of AS numbers represented at the sauna party later tonight. Basically, there is no semantic inferred by the AS set object itself. It's just a list. But the most common recommended usage is as a way of informing your IP transit provider, what will you be announcing to your upstream and what are you announcing to your to the internet, basically your own network and your customer networks. I have a lightning talk later this afternoon about some of the more common ways of using AS sets. But this is the most common one, and the ones that was also used in this case, because they said in their RIPE database that they would announce this to their upstream provider. And so why am I so upset about this, and why was this such a big problem? Well, usually the way BGP security works on the internet today is that we have route origin validation. Basically, in RPKI, we publish who can announce our prefixes, and route origin validation only validates the originating ASN, which means that all of Telia Sweden's IP addresses are validated to be able to be originated from AS 3301. But if some attacker AS then configures AS 3301 on some random router somewhere, and then announces Telia Sweden's IP addresses into BGP using that spoofed AS number, then they would be able to basically pass any RPKI tests that are going on and get that accepted. So, and if they would do that to some other tier 1 provider, then at some point they would be able to actually have an equal AS path length as us and hijack portions of the traffic that were destined to AS 3301. So the way you would then mitigate that is by using this RPSL-based filtering. Basically, all tier 1 providers will have some sort of filters that says, well, what can my customer announce to the internet and what is not allowed to announce to the internet. And that filter is based on these AS sets. So if this customer then has an AS set including Telia's AS number in it, then that filter would allow Telia's IP addresses to be advertised to the internet. And basically allow a form of BGP prefix hijacking that is not blocked by RPKI at the moment. So what can we do about that? Well, the first thing I did was to send a very, very angry email to the guys in wherever they were, probably in Tehran in Iran. What I got back from them was, oh, sorry, that was a typo, we fixed it now. Okay, I don't know if I believe that or not, but basically, even if it was a typo, it was a dangerous one for us. So, looking a bit ahead, what can we do about this? There is an extension coming up to RPKI. Right now we have ROAS that authenticates originations. The next big thing in RPKI is ASPA. So AS provider authorization basically is that you authorize some provider to be the upstream for your AS number. That is currently going on through the IETF. They are still hoping to have that that passed through IETF real soon now. So basically, these are the drafts that are going through IETF. So they are expecting it to go to last call, probably in the next IETF meeting. But for ASPA, there's actually already a lot of software available for it, and we were recently approached by Cisco that says they have a beta version of their ASPA software that we are now testing in the Telia labs. So if you're not sure if your vendor is going to support ASPA when it comes out, then please go ahead, ask your vendor. Usually what happens with these things is that if the vendor does not feel that there is enough traction in the market, they're not always going to implement the next newest thing. So for this, I would say ASPA is kind of important. But that is what is coming. So what can we do right now to try to mitigate something like this? Well, what we're doing in Telia now at the moment is setting up some monitoring on what is in the IRR databases. That's not only the RIPE database, that is the IADB database, the NTT level 3 database, and all of the, I think there are 20 something IRR databases available out there. Monitor what goes on there. So basically what we are doing, this is BGP tools. It's an excellent tool set. There are others available as well. Basically you search for your own AS number. In this case, you scroll down all the way to the bottom and there's a list of, you are a member of these AS sets. So my suggestion to you is please validate who is including your AS number in these and why. You can even then click these AS sets. This is obviously Telia's own AS set. You can click that and you can do the same again, who is including your AS set in their own AS sets. We're doing that. Unfortunately, on the internet and in the IRR databases, there is a lot of referencing from one AS set to the next, and there's even circular references, and there's really a lot. And a lot of AS sets actually grow to be quite large. I will talk about this later in the lightning talk this afternoon. But what happens is that a recursion path can actually be quite long and end up in including Telia's AS number and thereby Telia's IP prefixes in very strange places that you wouldn't expect. Basically what I'm saying to you is sanity check your AS set and please document what do you mean semantically with your AS set. Is this your customer cone, or is it something different that you are documenting? But be careful out there. And then I'm happy to take any input from you guys. What do you think? Was this a prelude to an attack coming if we hadn't actually caught this? Or what do you think? Any questions?
So I'm Alexi from Finland. Are you staying for sauna?
Yes.
So plenty of time
I will be there.
as well.
Yes.
And I will talk about this some more in the lightning talk later, where I will reference a talk in Nanog last week. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Lasse.